This Indonesian hill is actually an ancient pyramid hiding a 27,000-year-old secret. Modern engineering prides itself on the steel-girded sky, yet we walk past colossal stone monuments with a quiet, unearned arrogance. We assume our ancestors were primitive, dragging heavy rocks through mud with raw muscle and blind luck, because the alternative forces us to admit we have forgotten more than we currently know. The true mystery of these ancient wonders is not that they were built, but that they were built with a mathematical and structural precision that our most advanced computer-guided cranes struggle to replicate today. These stones do not just stand, they mock our understanding of human progress, hiding secrets of lost technology within their seamless joints. To understand how these impossible structures came to be, we must look past the dry explanations of modern textbooks and follow the trail of three mind-bending architectural anomalies that still defy every law of known history. In the scorched, sun-baked plains of Bihar, India, around the year 250 BCE, Emperor Ashoka bypassed the soft, easily workable sandstone of his kingdom and ordered his royal stonecutters to attack the most unforgiving rock known to ancient man: solid, monolithic granite. Standard history textbooks claim these subterranean chambers, known as the Barabar Caves, were merely simple shelters, built for wandering ascetic monks seeking refuge from the monsoon rains. Yet, the sheer physical absurdity of carving perfectly straight, geometric chambers into the heart of solid granite hills, using nothing but primitive copper chisels and stone hammers, points to a far more complex hidden purpose that modern archaeologists are terrified to admit. The royal builders did not just hollow out the mountain, they carved the interior walls of the Lomas Rishi cave into flawless, mathematically precise geometric curves, polishing the granite to a mirror-like sheen that still reflects light, like a modern telescope lens today. When a visitor steps inside the pitch-black chamber and speaks a single quiet word, the room does not merely echo, it captures the sound, holding and amplifying the vibration for several seconds, transforming a simple whisper into a deep physical hum that vibrates through the bones of anyone standing inside. In recent years, acoustic engineers equipped with digital sensors entered these dark chambers and discovered that the cave's interior geometry acts as a physical bandpass filter, specifically amplifying low-frequency sound waves while dampening high-pitched noise. The dimensions of the caves are perfectly tuned to resonate at a frequency of 110 Hz, a frequency that some theories suggest may influence brain activity. This level of acoustic manipulation requires an advanced understanding of wave dynamics and mathematical resonance, concepts that supposedly did not exist in human science for another 2,000 years. As researchers meticulously mapped the granite chambers, they uncovered a detail that left them utterly speechless. The entrance to the cave was cut with a microscopic accuracy of less than a millimeter, acting as a structural aperture that regulates the air pressure and sound flow of the entire hillside. If the builders had made an error of even a single degree in the curvature of the granite ceiling, the entire acoustic phenomenon would have collapsed, turning the sacred resonance into a chaotic, deafening wall of noise. Furthermore, Ashoka's builders left no trace of soot or ash on the polished granite ceilings, proving they did not use fire-based torches to illuminate the pitch-black depths of the mountain while they worked. This means they either carved these complex geometric chambers in absolute darkness, or they possessed a smoke-free light source, perhaps a sophisticated system of reflective bronze mirrors that has vanished entirely from the archaeological record. The granite itself contains a high concentration of quartz crystals, which generate a measurable piezoelectric charge when subjected to the mechanical stress of the surrounding mountain, hinting that these caves may have been designed as ancient power generators. The true twist that shattered the conventional, monk shelter narrative came when archaeologists realized the caves were completely devoid of any religious altars, ritual carvings, or signs of human habitation. These magnificent mirror-polished chambers were completely empty, designed from their very inception to process nothing but pure, unadulterated sound. They were not built to house the living, nor were they constructed to honor the dead. They were built as giant, geological instruments, engineered to manipulate physical matter and human consciousness through the power of acoustic vibration. When early British explorers first breached the sealed entrances of these caves in the 19th century, the intense, vibrating silence inside was so overwhelming that several officers suffered acute vertigo and fled back into the sunlight, claiming the mountain itself was screaming. Yet, while Ashoka's master builders were busy manipulating the invisible physics of sound inside solid Indian granite, another ancient civilization across the Mediterranean was preparing to lift stones so staggeringly massive, they pushed the absolute physical limits of modern mechanical cranes. High in the Bekaa Valley of modern-day Lebanon, the ruins of Baalbek present a riddle that has haunted structural engineers for centuries. Here, resting beneath the colossal Roman Temple of Jupiter, lies a foundation platform constructed from stone blocks so immense they make the stones of the Great Pyramid look like children's building blocks. Known as the Trilithon, this platform consists of 3 massive limestone blocks, each weighing an estimated 800 tons, the equivalent of carrying 3 fully loaded Boeing 747 airplanes up a steep mountain slope. Roman historical records describe the construction of the Temple of Jupiter in great detail, boasting of their architectural prowess, yet they remain completely silent on how these 3 specific foundation stones were quarried, transported and lifted into place. This glaring omission has led researchers to suspect that the Romans did not actually quarry these giants, but instead built their temple on top of a far older, highly advanced megalithic platform that was already standing when their legions first arrived. To move just one of these 800-ton blocks from the nearby quarry to the temple site required navigating uneven mountainous terrain with a slope of at least 10 degrees. According to modern physics, pulling such a weight up this incline would require the coordinated, simultaneous physical effort of over 40,000 men, a logistical impossibility given the narrow width of the ancient roads. Any wooden rollers placed beneath the stones would have been instantly crushed into sawdust under the immense pressure, leaving the blocks completely immovable by conventional ancient means. But the mystery deepens when we examine how these stones were positioned. They do not sit on the ground but are raised 20 feet in the air, resting atop a row of smaller stones with a precision so absolute that you cannot slide a single sheet of paper between them. There are no pry marks, no rope grooves, and no indications of crane attachment points on any of the 3 massive blocks, suggesting they were moved by a method that bypassed physical friction entirely. In the nearby quarry, half buried in the dirt, lies the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, an even larger block, weighing over 1,000 tons that was abandoned mid-carving for reasons no historian can explain. The block is perfectly squared on 5 of its 6 sides, but its base remains connected to the bedrock, as if the ancient builders suddenly dropped their tools and walked away in the middle of a workday. This sudden abandonment suggests a sudden, catastrophic event disrupted the project, leaving the giant stone forever anchored to the earth. Modern engineering firms, when asked how they would move the Baalbek stones today, admitted they would need to assemble specialized, high-capacity hydraulic gantry cranes brought in from multiple countries, a process costing millions of dollars. They would also need to construct a custom reinforced steel roadway to prevent the heavy machinery from sinking into the soil. The idea that a pre-industrial society accomplished this feat using only wooden rollers, hemp ropes and slave labor is a fantasy that violates the basic laws of structural mechanics. The true twist came when geologists analyzed the weathering patterns on the Trilithon stones, and discovered they had suffered thousands of years of intense water erosion, indicating they were carved during a wet, rainy epoch long before the Romans, or even the Phoenicians, ever set foot in the valley. This places the construction of the platform at the end of the last ice age, pushing the origins of high-precision engineering back into a forgotten epoch of human history. If an unknown prehistoric civilization possessed the technology to lift 1,000-ton stones like feathers, we must ask what other impossible feats they achieved. A question that leads us directly to a mountain in India that was carved completely upside down. In the basalt cliffs of Maharashtra, India, stands the Kailasa Temple, a structure that did not rise from the ground, but was carved out of a single, solid volcanic mountain from the top down. King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty ordered this architectural marvel in the 8th century, demanding a temple that would mirror the mythical home of the gods. To achieve this, his engineers did not bring stones to a construction site. They removed over 400,000 tons of solid basalt rock, carving a multi-story temple complex directly into the cliffside with surgical precision. The sheer scale of the excavation is mind-boggling. Workers had to carve vertical shafts deep into the mountain, working their way downward to reveal intricate, three-dimensional sculptures, massive pillars, and hollowed-out inner chambers. If a single stonecutter made a mistake, if a chisel slipped and chipped a vital supporting pillar, the entire temple would have collapsed, as there was no way to patch or replace a stone that was part of the living mountain. Conventional history claims this monument was completed in just 18 years, using only simple hand chisels and hammers, a timeline that requires the workers to excavate over 60 tons of rock every single day, working 24 hours a day without a single break. This rate of excavation is physically impossible, even for modern tunnel boring machines, suggesting that the builders possessed a method of softening or disintegrating solid volcanic rock that has been completely lost to time. The precision of the carved drainage systems, bridges and balconies suggests they possessed advanced blueprints long before the first chisel struck the stone. The deepest mystery of Kailasa is not the beauty of its carvings, but the absolute lack of any excavated rock debris anywhere in the surrounding valleys, as if the 400,000 tons of displaced basalt simply vanished into thin air. We are left looking at a monument that defies the physical laws of mass conservation, leaving us to wonder if our ancestors possessed a technology that did not just build, but could manipulate physical matter on a molecular level. Did a lost, highly advanced global civilization build these impossible wonders, before a great catastrophe wiped them from history? Or are we simply blind to the brilliant, forgotten technologies of our ancestors?